After the lunch break, Jane Doe was back on the stand and she was talking about a night in LA where Diddy had brought a man to their hotel room, and she said she tried for 30 minutes but just couldn't fake it. She was repulsed by him, and when she tried to talk to Diddy in another room, she said he was agitated. That kind of hiccup was rare, but he decided to just bring another man. He talked about a time when Diddy wanted her to come to New York, but she told him, "I'm not coming if you're just setting me up with another man," and he told her, "No, it's just going to be one-on-one." She was on a plane, she had Wi-Fi, and Diddy texted her asking her if she wanted entertainment, and again, she went along with it. She said, "I was disappointed. My shot of seeing my lover was just shot down." She gets to the Trump Hotel and the assistants were setting up the lights, and she took a photo of it, which was shown to the jury. She told Diddy she didn't want to do it, but he got super defensive, and then he gave her X. He said they get to the room, the man was already there, and then he started touching her, and she tells Diddy, "I can't do this." So again, he calls another man. Again, she said she didn't want to do it, but she knew this is what her partner would want, and they asked if Diddy was paying her rent at the time, and she said yes. Then said she called Sly, who was excited to come, and he flew from Atlanta to New York. She said after they finished, Sly went to go pick up his cash from the front desk, which was left there by one of Diddy's assistants. They then went through a binder of photos of entertainers, and she would name them, describe what happened between them, but said that Sly was the one that she saw most. And talked about the fact that she herself set up hotel nights for Diddy on 2 separate occasions. One of the times was Valentine's Day, and the other time was when Diddy had come back from a long trip. The reason being is because he would text her saying, "I can't wait to see what you have in store for me," and she could read between the lines. Also testified that she saw Diddy giving cash to 2 of the entertainers, and she herself also gave cash to 2 other men, but the money always came from Diddy. Again, if he ever ran out of cash, it was either his security or KK who would bring it to him. She was then asked about recordings, and she said Diddy always did it on his cell phone and told her not to worry because it was just for him. She said she was fine with him recording because it was part of what was happening, and said she acted like she enjoyed the encounters because I wanted to put on a good show. Yes, he directed, and she would follow his directions on command. The jury then saw 15 photos from these nights, and it was her and another man in the photos, and she said Diddy was present for all of them. She talked about wearing dancer shoes and how she would have them on the entire time, and how the baby oil would go into the shoes and she would try to keep her balance. Then talked about the fact that Diddy had her pierce her chest and that KK was the one that set up the appointment. She said at one point it got caught in her lingerie and it got infected, so she removed it, and said that Diddy told her, "Where are my piercings? This is the last time I see you without them." Talked about how her back would hurt from how much she had to bend over, how she was sore downstairs, but never told him anything because she didn't want to be negative. But she said she did take antibiotics for UTIs and yeast infections, and she did tell Diddy when she would have those. There were times where she couldn't fully recover from these infections when they would have their next hotel night. Then said that she brought up many times that she didn't want to do this, but Diddy would always get defensive. Sometimes it would be in person, other times it would be in text messages, and she even had stuff in her notes because she didn't have the courage to say it, but she wanted to write it down. Towards the end of her relationship in 2024, after he found out the FBI were looking into him, she said that Diddy told her that he never knew she didn't want to do this. That she believed him until she looked back through her text messages and realized she had been telling him that since 2021. In November of 2021, she was jealous when she saw him doing things with another woman on IG stories. It would make her feel jealous because she would have hotel nights with him, but then with other women, he would do the things she wanted to do with him. She texted him saying, "I need a breather and a break from you." Also text him saying, "Don't say you effing miss me and you're bored over there. Just don't say ish to me at all. You don't deserve me." So the prosecutors then played a voice note he sent to her where he said, "You gotta believe this is the last time you gonna be cursing at me." Then says to her, "She asks me to work out. This is the time you gonna curse at me? I don't have a bunch of guy friends. Don't matter if I just effed her. Be sad. Go crazy. I don't deserve being honest with someone." She tells the prosecutors she doesn't believe the other woman was just coming to the gym, and she didn't actually care that he was laying with her. He said, "I just wanted that time with him," so she tells him, "It's not me you want, it's these nights." Then talked about the fact that Diddy had 2 phones because he started dating another woman. He said she saw the fact that he had done a big birthday for her, so she texted him saying, "I see why you're going for her. Why do you play me? Say she's just a business partner, then you say she's spending money on you? How would you feel if I said a man was spending money on me?" Then she said to Diddy, "I feel cheap." And the thing is, her birthday was right before that, and she said she got dressed up, she went out with Diddy, and then of course, at the end of the night, he made her have one of those hotel nights. She tells the jury, it was really heartbreaking for me because I felt that I saw this big grandiose birthday that he did for her versus the type of birthday that I just experienced with him. She texted him saying, I don't ever want to do another hotel night. I didn't want to do those with you on my birthday, but I wanted to make sure we had a good time. I feel so cheap once again. And talked about the fact that Diddy was on vacation with another girl and she went out with her friends for her birthday and that Diddy paid for it, but he wasn't there. He then showed another text message she sent to Diddy after a night with 3 men where she told him she was tired, and his response was, I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face, let's just be friends. She said it was like this whenever she would bring up hotel nights, and she texted him back saying, are you breaking up with me? Now mind you, she's sobbing while she's saying this. You're the only man in my life. You took someone else to the place I have dreamed about, which was Turks and Caicos. He responded saying, I'm tired of these long texts telling me what I'm doing wrong. And I wrote, what am I doing wrong? He then wrote to her saying, anything you've asked me for, I've done. We'll miss each other. She reiterates that the only thing she wanted was quality time with him. And she said she wanted to do things out of these rooms. I won't miss it because I'm more than that. He went on to ignore him for 13 days, but he would text her saying things like, miss you. Let me make it up to you. You're taking this too far now. And then that's when they took a break. He is back on the stand, and I will likely be back one more time for the final update of the day.